my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Ooda. Welcome to the Ooda. All my niggas from the Ooda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet.
You already know the vibes. You already know the vibe. We back with another one. We getting into Andre Rush. We getting into Cuffee Gatling. We getting into Tammy Cowins, right? Timothy Rush, his brother, Timothy Lamont Rush, Lorenzo Gibbs. Okay. You know, Agent Jack Harvey's involved with this. We know that Keith Cromer. I've went into all of these things on this channel. Salute to everybody that understands that I went through all these things on this channel. I've been on this, all of these things. Terry White case, all these things. I'm reading paperwork to you, not leaning on my own opinion, but giving you thoughts on these sad things. Salute to everybody. That's one of my videos right there. I think this one is about Diddy. This is a Diddy situation right here. Pause, no Diddy. This is a Diddy situation. Make sure y'all checking all my videos. I got Diddy situation. I'm going to go into the Diddy paperwork, all the paperwork with this Cuffee Gatling and all of these situations here. This is what this is all about. So today, what we have today, we're going to be getting into Andre Rush. So I've gone into Cuffee Gatling. I've gone into Tammy Cowins, some things with Meech and how he's implicated in some of this said paperwork that we're talking about. Have you been under a rock? Do you know I'm talking about paperwork like this? This paperwork. This is the affidavit. This is Cuffee Gatling's affidavit. Okay. And when you read it, you'll see what the hell's going on. Okay. And in this said information, you know, he's listed as to having Meech arranged the whole deal between Cuffee and Fidel Suarez through Tammy. This is what Tammy is saying in her affidavit, which Tammy ends up going right in 2 more affidavits to go against these affidavits and say that these things are not true. And Keith Cromer did this now after she had a sexual relationship with the leading investigator in the case. And now for 8 to 12 months, and now she's saying that some of these things is him because he's obsessed and he was by in front of her house and he was stalking her and all these other stuff. She's trying to say now she wrote these other statements, didn't sign them, so they're not real statements, affidavits. They're just 2 papers that she wrote some things on that ended up in discovery. Okay, this is hence why Cuffee was having a Frank's hearing to try to get some of these things suppressed with the Title III warrants and affidavit orders, getting the Title IIIs, which is the taps and the phone buggings and certain things, because the things that they were saying was credible, which was the main source, CS1, Tammy, confidential source number 1, wasn't as credible because she was flip-flopping over the boards with affidavit. She was making love to the secret lovers. Tammy Cowins, yeah. Oh, that's what she was. That's what she was. Yes, that's what she was. Secret lovers. With Keith Cromer. You know what I mean? Till she was outed and all these said things had happened. So that's just a quick brief update to also all my people. So remember, listen, this is a paperwork read. So you know I love y'all all, but when I'm dealing with this paperwork, I need to make sure y'all all dropping likes. Why I want y'all dropping likes? Not just because I'm reading. One, I dropped out of school at a young age and I taught myself everything I know. And I know how to read very well, right? Boom. And off the strength of your certain age, the reading rainbow. I learned from the reading rainbow. You see me doing anything. I can do anything. Way to look. It's in a book. The reading rainbow. Trust me, bro. We ain't never gonna get them days back. These kids don't want to read. Come on, man. I learned how to read, man. The old school way, bro. The old school way. Taught myself. That's the old school way. Yay. So salute to that and make sure y'all dropping likes because I love y'all all. So remember, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bells on, make sure you're notified when I'm dropping new content. All right. So let me just make sure we all on deck. So if you haven't liked already, I need you to do what?
All my niggas from the Ooda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer.
Yeah. Cool. As long as y'all liking and we getting it right. Cool. Right. So now we're going to get into a little read. Boom. This is what we're dealing with today. Okay. See if I can knock this out real quick. Let me make sure my audio's right. Yeah, I'm good. Boom. 2 St. Louis men admit involvement in deadly drug trafficking gang. St. Louis. Shows you the date. 2/3/2019. Okay. Cool. Let's zoom in like this, right? That's where all the papers at. Boom. Two St. Louis men have pleaded guilty regarding their role in the deadly drug gang and now face at least 15 years in prison. The plea hearings of Timothy Lamont Rush, 53, right, and Andre Alfonso Rush, 54, were not on the public docket last week. The case involves the murder of one man accused of cooperating with law enforcement and another killed because the conspirators thought the authorities couldn't use evidence linked to him if he was dead. Plea agreements obtained Friday by the Post-Dispatch say Timothy Rush pleaded guilty they got him listed as Rush. That's why the next picture when I have as him on the thumbnail, this is Rush. They got him written as Rush, but then they also got Rush in the paperwork listed as Gatling. Okay? So this is Gatling if you see in his paperwork now. This is Gatling. Right? So boom. Friday by Post-Dispatch said Timothy Rush pleaded guilty in U.S. District Court to 4 felony conspiracy to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine, conspiracy to distribute more than 1 kilo of heroin, and attempting to possess with the intent to distribute both drugs. He will face at least 15 years in prison when sentenced later this year. Now, we understand this to be, listen, the 5 grams or kilograms of cocaine, right, that they're talking about, this was a reverse drug sting, a DEA. This was a reverse DEA drug sting. So the DEA, so somebody was a DEA and they act like they was a regular person and they was talking with Gatling. Gatling had the conversations with the person. All right, hold on. I don't want to be playing this in my background. Gatling had the conversations with the person, right? Anything about it don't matter, right? Right. Gatling had the conversation with the person and was telling him he runs St. Louis and he could move anything. And the person who was a Fed was acting like a regular person and told him, yo, look, my cartel could give you anything, supply it. They then in turn tried to supply him $110,000 worth of drugs. Supposedly that was a deal that they was going to do. And a $50,000 Escalade truck that he was going to use because this truck had a safety compartment that they can use to stash the drugs or whatever the case may be. Gatling had a Toyota Camry that had, this is all paperwork. I'm just rambling off my head, but this is all paperwork. Gatling had a Toyota Camry that had 120,000 miles on it, which he exchanged to them, was supposed to exchange for them to hold or whatever as collateral or whatever, while he took the truck because they drove down there. They being Timothy and Lorenzo Gibbs drove down to Memphis. Memphis is where this deal was supposed to be taking place. And it was supposed to be for 2 kilograms of heroin. So when they say the 1 kilogram of heroin, it was supposed to be the heroin, but this was fake narcotics, sham narcotics, as they listed it in the paperwork. It was sham narcotics. So when they go to pick up the drugs or whatever the case may be, then whatever else drugs, they get nabbed. Timothy gets nabbed in the truck with the drug. The drugs are seized. The truck is seized. Lorenzo Gibbs, who's the other co-defendant, is seen walking to an IHOP. Then the agent in turn goes back to, remember, he's like a regular guy, supposed to be a drug dealer, goes back to Cuffee and says, yo, listen, you got to make it right because I just lost $160,000 dealing with all of this. He asked Cuffee for some money. Cuffee said, you don't have it. He asked Cuffee for $5,000. He said, you don't have it. He asked Cuffee for a car as in collateral. Cuffee says he don't have it. Then in turn, he said he's going to give him the more drugs. The more drugs end up to be $10,000. I mean, not 10,000, 10 kilograms of cocaine supposed to be this time. So this is the deal for 10 kilograms cocaine. So they supposed to be going to pick it up. So I guess when they go pick up the drugs or whatever the case may be, people can back. But the 10 kilogram of cocaine end up being 15 kilogram because they end up figuring out that they had 5 extra sham drugs, 5 kilograms of fake drugs from some other bust that they was doing prior the day before or the same day. So they was like, you know what? We got these other 5 fake keys. Let's just give him those 2. So whatever. So he going to have the whole 15 keys. We just giving him all of those. Boom. So now the whole drug is involving basically like 17 keys now. So with the whole 17 keys now is not really 17 keys because now they convert the drug weight into converted drug weight. They convert the drug weight. They convert the drug weight. They convert the drug weight into converted drug weight, right? They convert the drug weight into converted drug weight. Now it's 5,000 kilograms of real drugs, even though it was conspiracy of fake drugs the whole time. Okay, so understand what's going on. So this is just me prefacing this video of what's going on. Okay, so the court, all right. So Timothy Rush pleaded guilty to the U.S. District Court to 4 felonies: conspiracies to distribute 5 kilograms. Okay, this is what Timothy Rush. Andre Rush pleaded guilty to three charges: conspiracy to distribute 5 kilograms or more of cocaine, conspiracy to distribute more than 1 kilo of heroin, and a gun charge linked to the 2 deaths. Both sides in his case have agreed to recommended 25 years in prison. The plea agreements of both men say that they were involved in a drug trafficking ring that brought heroin, cocaine, meth, and other drugs to the St. Louis area from 2009 to 2015. That ring was run by Dion L. Cuffee Gatling, who is also co-defendant in their case. The plea says both Andre and Timothy Rush dealt drugs and stored them for the ring. Their pleas say those pleas list various drug dealings activities and 2 murders. Okay, and 2 murders. Okay, let's bring it closer so you really know what's going on. And 2 murders. With the 2 murders. I'm at with the 2 murders. Stored activities, Gatling Clinic, April 24. Okay, boom. Gatling drove Andre Rush and 2 other men to a St. Louis clinic on April 5th, 2010, where Rush pointed out Theodis Howard. Andre Rush's plea says the 2 other men fatally clipped Howard, 41, according to the plea. Gatling arranged the M because Howard cooperated with authorities in a drug conspiracy, in a drug prosecution of Gatling's brother, Deron Wani Gatling, who died of an asthma attack in prison. The plea says, however, was in a halfway house after his release from prison. In February 2013, Gatling met with someone in Atlanta who he thought was linked to a drug cartel and arranged for the delivery of 2 kilos of heroin. The plea says, it's my town. I can do whatever I want to do. He boasted about the drugs, right? He distributed, saying that he specializes in cocaine. The plea says on February 7, 2013, Timothy Rush and the 4th co-defendant, Lorenzo Gibbs, swapped a Toyota Camry for a Cadillac Escalade that they believed contained a heroin in a hidden compartment, the police says. Okay, just like I told you, because remember, I read the paperwork on my channel, so it's not about me reading this report from papers. I read the actual paperwork on my channel. Go back to my channel, all of these videos, Terry White, Big Meech, Cuffee Gatling, Tammy Cowins, Jack Harvey, Keith Cromer, all of these people, Rodney Lingo, Miami Boys, Terry White crew. Look up all those things on my channel. You're going to see all of these things. Trust me, it's going to tie it all together because I'm soon going to tie all of these things together and show you. T. Stuckey, too. I added him into this because he was taken down by Jack Harvey. As Rush was returning from the meeting in Memphis, Tennessee, a Missouri Highway Patrol trooper stopped him on Interstate 55. Remember I told you? Drug Enforcement Administration agent seized the purported drugs. The police says Gatling next tried to arrange the delivery of 15 kilos. It was the 10, but they gave the extra 5 kilos of cocaine. But Gibbs and Timothy Rush were both arrested at the meeting site in unincorporated South St. Louis County. After the conspirators became aware of the federal investigation, Andre Rush fatally shot Terrence Morgan, 41, on May 2nd of 2013 in an alley in St. Louis, Fox Park neighborhood. The police says Gatling thought the federal investigators had wiretapped Morgan's phone and couldn't use those recordings in court if Morgan was dead. The police says Gatling and Gibbs, both 50, have pleaded not guilty. The 4 men were indicted nearly 5 years ago, so they was in jail for like 4 or 5 years. That's what I told you as well on the paperwork. Timothy was trying to go for the Bill Reform Act. He was already in jail for 44 months at the time. They were saying you should expect to be there for at least 48 months, 4 years at least, before you even go to trial. And when they took these plea deals, they saved at least another extra year of trial on this trial when Cuffee and Andre Rush took the plea deals, which Cuffee took 27 years. And Andre took 25. But their cases had been delayed by a DEA sex scandal with Keith Cromer and Tammy Cowins, right? In Atlanta, that defense lawyers said should have resulted in evidence in St. Louis case being tossed out of court. It should have been, right? But They still got it. They trumped it up, put the murders on him, and they got his ass out of here. Look, in a series of hearings in late 2016 and early 2017, and in court documents, defense lawyers accused the former DEA supervisor in Atlanta of having an affair with a confidential informer who helped set up Cuffee Gatling. The supervisor, Keith Cromer, denied having sex with the informer, but admitted to the relationship violated DEA policy prohibiting more than an arm's length of relationship with sources. Cromer also denied falsifying reports to justify a total of $212,000 in payments to her, although finding out that Cromer's testimony was not entirely credible. U.S. Magistrate Judge Shirley Padmore Mensah ruled that the defense had failed to prove that any government agent or any informant acting as a government agent deliberately or recklessly included a false statement. So regardless of what was happening, they didn't think that any of the statements was false. They thought everything that Tammy was saying was true and all the things she's saying was real. So if Tammy was saying all the things she was saying was real, then all the things that she was saying about Meech was real. So they also kept all those things that Meech arranged these things and all those things, and they still convicted these people of this crime. You know what I'm saying? Of this crime, right? So recklessly or deliberately included a false statement in the affidavit that led to a wiretap and that led to Gatling indictment. DEA agents in St. Louis have not been accused of misconduct in the case, and they were aware of Gatling from other investigations and corroborated the information provided by the informer by the ruling says. Let me just make sure there ain't nothing up here that I'm missing. Hold up. It is unquestionably definite, baby, that St. Louis region is in for 6 more. No. That's some Groundhog Day. All right, cool. I just want to make sure I got that. Boom. Right. Let me make sure I ain't cool, man. Charge after the minister is clipped at the bowling alley, Richmond Heights. Crazy. St. Louis. St. Louis. Listen. That's crazy, though. So that's a quick read of this part. We're still going to go into other parts. We're going to go into other parts of the confession. We're going to go into other parts of all of those things. Salute to all of y'all. I love y'all all. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn the notifications.
All my niggas from the Hooters. All my niggas turn shooters.